What's going on, guys? John Fib here, and welcome to my YouTube video, Quit Being a Slave. Now, this was actually the title of a live stream we did at the beginning of 2023 when we hopped back on this YouTube channel, but today's going to be a little bit more specific with being a slave, and this is going to be broken down into two parts: the body and the mind. Part one, the body. Physical slavery. This could be in the form of a job that you don't like, that you are miserable at. It could be in the form of toxic friends or family that are around you. Something that I know a lot of us, including myself, can struggle with sometimes is food. So things that have a lot of sugar, snacks, chips, things like that, especially fast food as well. And even drinks like sugary drinks like lemonade or soda, and especially alcohol. And one of the biggest things I've seen growing up is material possessions, things like clothes, a nice house, a nice car, even technology like the latest computer, cell phone, stuff like that. And last but not least, content scrolling. So endless scrolling on social media. So the first thing that I would suggest to do if you're miserable at your job is to find a better job. Look around, submit applications somewhere else. See if you can upgrade and even make more money potentially. Find a better job. If you have toxic friends or family, find new friends. And if you can't find new friends, or if your family is toxic, then at least what you can do is set boundaries. Try not to be near these people. And if you have to be, do your best to tolerate them. It was Marcus Aurelius who said, be strict with yourself and tolerant with others. If you want to get away from the food addictions, the sugar, snacks, fast food, replace those with healthy foods. Now, I know it's a lot easier than it sounds, but what you can do is work on this slowly. Start eating fast food less often, and then eventually get rid of it. Okay, I'm not saying to quit cold turkey, but work on it, and start slowly replacing those bad foods with better foods. And it's going to be the same thing with the drinks, cutting out soda. You can drink other things instead that have less sugar or even no sugar at all. And the best thing you can do is to replace those things with water. I've done it. I know it's hard. It's not easy for me to do it. I know it's not going to be easy for you to do it either. But what we're trying to do is free ourselves. Okay. So replace that stuff with water. As far as the material possessions goes, character matters more than materials. Now, it was Seneca who said, a man who examines the saddle and bridle and not the animal itself when he is out to buy a horse is a fool. Similarly, only an absolute fool values a man according to his clothes or according to his social position, which, after all, is only something we wear like clothing. And to quit the endless scrolling, you can find something more productive to do. You can do what Marcus Aurelius did in Meditations. He wrote to himself, he said this, because most of what we say and do is not essential. If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? All right, and part two is going to be on the mind, which is mental slavery. Our first example of mental slavery is going to be the opinions of other people. Our second example is attention from other people. The third example is toxic thinking. So if you think to yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, things like that, that in itself is a form of mental slavery. Toxic content. This is a big one. Television, social media can be toxic for your mind. So the first thing that we can do is stop worrying about other people, because the thing is, they are worried about themselves. They're not worried about you. And it was Epictetus, a Greek philosopher, who said this. If you shape your life according to nature, you'll never be poor. If according to people's opinions, you will never be rich. To stop wanting attention from other people, you have to understand that attention is trivial. It really doesn't matter. In the end, it's rather worthless, and it's not something that you really need to be chasing. You can start to end toxic thinking by changing the way you say I can't to I can. You can start to believe in yourself, talk kindly to yourself, and end negative self-talk. And to get rid of toxic content, turn off the TV, listen to positive and growth-oriented content. A minute ago, I talked about social media and the endless scrolling. So understand this from Epictetus. He said, most of what passes for legitimate entertainment is inferior or foolish and only caters to or exploits people's weaknesses. Avoid being one of the mob who indulges in such pastimes. Your life is too short and you have important things to do. Be discriminating about what images and ideas you permit into your mind. If you yourself don't chase what thoughts and images you expose yourself to, someone else will, and their motives may not be the highest. If you've enjoyed what we talked about so far, consider grabbing some of these book recommendations. The links are in the description if you want to help support this channel at no additional cost. Discourses and Selected Writings by Epictetus, Letters from a Stoic by Seneca, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. And I did forget to put this in here, but you could also do The Art of Living by Epictetus, which is the Sharon LaBelle translation. All right, and the last part is a simple exercise you can do to free yourself today. The first thing you can do is ask yourself, what am I a slave to? And the next thing you can do is to think about it. Think about this. What would it be like to be free from what you're a slave to? Next, make a plan. How can I free myself from this? And then the most important part, take action. Free yourself and quit being a slave right now. And that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. If you really got some value, consider sending this to a friend so they can get some value as well. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.